Toyota's new Tundra engine dies before 10,500 miles, and no dealer is saying why. You bought Toyota because you didn't want to think about the engine. Mechanics buy Toyota for their own families, not for customers, for themselves. That's not a marketing line. That's a professional verdict. And that verdict is changing. The question isn't whether Toyota has a quality problem. The question is, does Toyota know? Or is Toyota saying less than owners deserve to know? There's an unwritten rule in American repair shops. If you don't know what car to buy Toyota. Not because it's the most exciting truck on the lot. Because it's the last one you'll ever have to think about. No marketing promise. Mechanics who spend every day watching what engines do with 200,000 miles on them bought Toyota for their daughters, their mothers, themselves. No other brand has ever earned that verdict. Toyota built it over decades, until it was the only recommendation mechanics still made. The reason was never an accident. The old Land Cruiser, the Tacoma, the 4Runner, the older Tundra with the V8, the Lexus LS, the Lexus GX. What they all shared: no unnecessary complexity. Mechanical, fixable, conservatively engineered. Toyota's engineers were considered the most conservative in the business, the ones who ran a proven engine for 10 years before touching it. Other manufacturers laughed at that, until their engines started failing. But then Toyota made a decision, and most owners never saw it coming. Toyota trucks held their value like no other manufacturer in the segment. A 10-year-old Tacoma often lost less than 30% of its original purchase price. A comparable American truck, up to 55%. Repair shops reported Tundra V8 engines running 300,000 miles without a rebuild. That wasn't the exception, that was the standard. And that standard is exactly why what's happening right now is so hard to ignore. What Toyota called its next step, the mechanics who first saw it called it something else. Toyota had to respond. Not wanted to, had to. US emissions standards tightened every year. Toyota's V8 engines, the backbone of its trucks for decades, became a liability, not because of quality, because of grams of CO per mile. At the same time, Tesla was pushing. Rivian was pushing. Every new manufacturer was positioning electrification as the future. And Toyota responded the way corporations always respond when they're under pressure. They sacrifice what works for what sells. The V8 was the first casualty. The new Tundra launched in 2022 with a completely new powertrain, a twin-turbo V6, 3.5 liters. On paper, impressive, more power than the old V8, lower fuel consumption, smaller emissions numbers. What the paper didn't show: 2 turbochargers, higher operating temperatures, more components, more electronics between you and what's happening under the hood. The old 5.7-liter V8 was naturally aspirated. Simple, robust. The new twin-turbo runs under more pressure, at higher temperatures, with more potential failure points. And when a turbocharged engine fails, it doesn't fail slowly. The first reports came out of Texas, then Florida, then the entire internet. Tundra owners with under 10,500 miles on the odometer driving to their dealer and walking out with a completely new engine instead of a repair estimate. Another owner, 38,000 miles. Same diagnosis. Total engine failure. Toyota's first formal recall didn't come until May 2024, more than 2 years after the first owner complaints were filed with the NHTSA. The backlog for replacement engines speaks for itself. 10 weeks wait time for a new engine on a brand new truck. One Lexus LX owner was without their vehicle for over 150 days. No loaner, no statement. If your Tundra has the V35A engine, call your dealer today. Give them NHTSA recall numbers 24V381 and 25V767 and get written confirmation whether your VIN is affected. The old Toyota was fixable. That sounds simple, it isn't. An older 4Runner, an old Tacoma with a 4.0-liter V6, you could jack the truck up, Grab basic tools and you knew what you were looking at. No proprietary diagnostic systems, no software-gated access to fault codes that requires an authorized dealer just to read. The modern Toyota needs dealer software, active update credentials, and in some cases a certified technician requesting system clearances to run a full diagnostic. Toyota was the only brand with a concrete promise. We're different. Simple. Fixable. In your control. That's the standard Toyota set for itself, and that's exactly where the brand is being measured right now. Remember the question from the beginning. Was it an accident or a decision? Toyota didn't discontinue the V8 because of quality issues. It didn't fit the emissions targets for coming model years. CAFE compliance mandate. NHTSA documentation 24V381. That's the paper trail. And when the federal agency asked Toyota in the official recall form how many of the involved vehicles actually contained the defect, Toyota entered the value 1. Their own filing states, for purposes of this report, 1 means unknown. That's not a communication error. That's a corporation's official answer to a federal agency. 2 recalls. Over 200,000 affected vehicles. 2,604 documented warranty claims in the US alone before Toyota announced the second recall. No stop drive advisory. No pullover. The official recommendation: if you hear engine noise, contact your dealer. The engine can stall on the highway without warning. Toyota confirmed that to the NHTSA. And still, no stop drive warning. 4 years after launch. 2 recall. And the fix has not reached every affected owner. But an engine can be replaced. Trust cannot. What most videos on this topic never say comes next. Not which model to buy. What Toyota isn't telling you when you do. 3 models still carry the old engineering philosophy. The 4Runner with the 4.0-liter V6, unchanged for years, mechanically manageable. The Tundra with the 5.7-liter V8, built before 2022, the engine repair shops still trust. And the Land Cruiser which Toyota discontinued in the US. Insufficient demand, they said officially. The models repair shops trusted for decades are being phased out. The models repair shops are now seeing most often with engine problems are staying in the lineup. What you need before buying any new model: negotiate a written extended warranty. Request documented engine reports for your model year from the dealer in writing. And don't extend blind trust to anyone, including Toyota. Toyota hasn't lost the legend yet. But there's a brand right now taking over what Toyota used to be, doing it with trucks Toyota itself no longer builds. Which brand that is, and whether it keeps the promise, I'll show you in the next video.